Not normal for her to double hit.
Mafua, the back set to Amber Kaufman, and this time things work.
Kaufman is so easy to set. She hangs in the air so long. She's got that high jumping ability. A third 1 year in the NCAAs. Also a second in the WAC. High jump 6'4".
Kanani Danielson gets a breather. Jamie Lee comes in to serve and promptly smacks the tape on the top of the net. Service error, a point for New Mexico. 10-9 your score here in set number 2. Taylor Hadfield, who had the block on Danielson moments ago with the serve taken by Lee. The set from by Mafua and Amber Kaufman with a quick arm swing. Point for Hawaii.
Boy, no sign of any pain there in that shot. Kaufman with a slight stomach pull, but boy, she looked All-American-like in that hit.
Danny Mafua, the 5'11" junior setter from Kapolei. One thing you look at this Hawaii roster, and it's way early to talk about next year, but boy, they're going to be, they got a lot coming back. Anytime you got your setter playing that well and coming back.
Yeah, that's huge to have Mafua coming back. She just continues to get better and better.
Well, and just
working
with Kanani too. That additional is another year under the belt, working together. Kanani's going to be getting better and better, if that's even possible. Kubio Tenero into the net. Here's Mafua. She goes to Farrell, and we've had a whistle. And Coach Shoji's up to argue this one because I think they're saying that someone was into the net.
What happened was Patsy Malta, the up referee, said there was a touch in the block. John Martin, the down referee right there, said that there was no touch.
And Coach Shoji off camera is still up arguing this point.
He's telling John Martin, John, that's not your call. And John says, well, yes, that is. I can call that anytime I want. Dave's saying the down referee should be watching, like line calls, a line violation under the net or something like that.
Well, we'll get a look.
Oh, here we have our net cam. This is pretty cool. You see there's a touch in the block. Yeah, it looked like it might have touched one of the arms.
Boy, we tell you that. Kanani Danielson goes back and pokes her serve long and out of bounds.
Kaufman.
It was Amber.
Amber Kaufman.
It's
that one out.
13-12 now, a one-point contest. Hawaii up by 1, 13-12. I believe is the correct score here in set number 2. And the setter, Michelson, reporting a kill for the Lobos.
Well, in the first game, there was 10 ties and 3 lead changes. And this game is turning out to be just the same.
It was tighter than the birthday boy might want it. And there's Kanani Danielson off the block and out of bounds. Hawaii inches back out in front, 14-13.
Danielson with her 9th kill of the night.
Oh, and that's Danielson. That was Farrell.
With her 8th kill of the night.
My bad. Ball back in play. Had been served up by Nelly Kubio Tenero. Mafua this time goes to Kanani Danielson. That ball blocked and just out of bounds. Blocked over the net. Looked like it might fall in. Goes out of bounds. Point for Hawaii. 15-13 your score. So we're going to have a timeout on the floor. Hawaii leading 1-0 and up by 2 here in set number 2. You're watching NCAA Volleyball on K5, the home team. Brooks Bear and Chris McLaughlin. Time to take a look at the Hawaiian Airlines record book, sponsored by Hawaiian Airlines. Only one airline is Hawaiian, and it's a look back in time at some tremendous Rainbow Wahine.
Led by none other than Kim Willoughby, who went on to play in the last Olympics and get herself a silver medal. I don't know if that 194 aces will ever be touched.
Martina Sincerova, she was on one of those NCAA championship teams, I believe.
Back in 1987 with Suzanne Agee. Some Hawaii faithful there.
Kubio Tenero serving it up, blocked by Kanani Danielson. They tried to just kind of sneak one by, and Kanani said no. 16-13, Hawaii by 3 here in set number 2. Hawaii took set number 1, 25-22. Rose Morris with a hot shot. Kanani, and I think that ball went all the way up and hit the scoreboard apparatus that hangs down in the center of the Galen Center. Ball came back down.
And watch this bump set by Brittany Hewitt is absolutely perfect. Kanani goes up and drills it inside the block. Very emotional moment for the Hawaii team because Hewitt not normally a setter.
Kanani Danielson having another good night with 11 kills. Hawaii up by 4. We'll be back. Looks like we have some Hawaii fans in the crowd. 17-13 set number 2. That'll put a smile on their faces. More empty seats than filled seats here. Understandable because both of these teams playing now had to come a long way, and it would be a long way for fans to go. Maybe some of the Hawaii faithful thinking, they may be looking too far ahead, thinking Stanford, huh? Thinking Stanford Regional. Because the team that emerges from here will move on to a Stanford Regional, and that will be coming up next weekend. Ball back in play. Hawaii up 17-13 in set number 2, and the Lobos will get a side out there as it's off the Hawaii block and out of bounds. Here's the setter Michelson with the serve, received by Kubio Tenero. Back set by Mafua. She goes to Farrell, and Farrell records a kill for Hawaii. And seems that every time Stephanie Farrell gets a kill, she heads to the bench, and in comes Stephanie Brandt to serve. Hey, coming up at the end of this match, a player from each team will be selected as the most valuable players. Most Valuable Player Award is sponsored by Bank of Hawaii, Hawaii's bank.
Kind of back row violation by New Mexico. Their setter up above the net, attacking the ball at the net. Touched Hawaii's blocker, Danielson. Therefore, a violation.
Stephanie Brandt, you know she's good for 2, right? Not this time. I shouldn't open my mouth. Seems every time she goes back there, she was on a roll. She got at least 2 points. Not that time. Just 1 service point for Stephanie Brandt.
No, actually she did. She got 1 on the violation. And then that was her second serve. Oh, no, you're right. She got 1. Yeah. You're right.
19-15 is your score here in set number 2.
So Hewitt can score not only by blocking, but she scores by attacking as well. Hewitt picking up her 4th kill in 6 tries. Hawaii hitting 400 right now. Remember the number 3 kill percentage team in the country. That's quite an offense they've built up.
Ka'aihui for Hawaii with the serve. A spinning ball that can be hard to hit, goes left side. Lisa Meter handles it, but Hawaii on the attack, and it's Kanani Danielson. Ball is touched before it went out of bounds. Point for the Rainbow Wahine.
You know what? Kanani was so sought after by so many teams in the country, and it's because of shots like this. Sharp angles, great ball handling, and leaping ability.
She has helped lead Hawaii to a 21-15 lead here in set number 2. There's a look at your scoreboard. Hawaii with a pretty comfortable lead here in set number 2. Hawaii took set number 1, 25-22. All the information you need about UH Athletics is right at your fingertips. Go to hawaiiathletics.com for UH news, tickets, merchandise, and a host of other items. Also visit our Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube sites to follow your favorite teams and get current with fan promotions. It's the first round of the NCAA tournament. Hawaii on the attack. Danielson floating the ball deep into the New Mexico Lobo court, and Lobos lob one right back. So here's Brent, sets left side to Kanani Danielson straight down the line, and that ball is in. Point Hawaii, 22-15 now. Hawaii beginning to find its groove.
Danielson putting on a little bit of a clinic right now. Good set by Brandt to the outside, and Kanani, that was either over the top or in the seam.
Ka'aihui keeps the ball alive for Hawaii. UH back set to Amber Kaufman, and she records another kill.
Boy, really in system right now, passing the ball perfectly up front, hitting .422. That's a huge number, holding New Mexico to a 183 kill percentage.
2 more points, and Hawaii will have a 2-0 advantage. Lobos on the attack. Great job of keeping that ball alive for Hawaii with Stephanie Brandt, and it results in a point for the Rainbow Wahine.
Brandt, once again, doing a terrific job playing that back right position. Remember, she was a setter for 3 years, left Santa Barbara after her first year. was a setter in her sophomore year, and then since then has been playing behind Mafua.
Kahui was serving to close out game number 1, but the Lobos not quite ready to ride off into the sunset here in the second set. 24-16 as they stay alive. Out of the ball games goes Ashley Rhodes. And into the contest for the Lobos is Jordan Russell, a 5'7" freshman from Stanley, New Mexico. Hawaii now can still win set number 2, and they do. They go left side to Kanani Danielson, and boy, Hawaii's outside's just on fire. Just on fire. So Hawaii beginning to find its groove, settling in, taking set number 2, 25-16. The gals in green and white are up 2-0 in the first round of the NCAA tournament in Los Angeles. Set number 3 will be coming your way shortly.